Hi guys! Today I'm going to be showing you products that I have hit pan on number 2. I did a video like this, it was probably 4 months ago. You guys really loved it. I really love watching these videos. I think they are so much fun and I wanted to do another one. Now, I was kind of thinking, how do I go about this? Like, do I show only new products that I have hit pan on? So I went and I watched that old video back. What I realized really quickly was that about half the stuff in that video I have either used up or decluttered, which is really crazy to me, which means my collection is constantly changing. And also, everything in that video, aside from maybe 2 things that I haven't used up or decluttered, I have progress on. So essentially, nothing looks the same from that video. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna show you guys right now everything in my collection that I have pan on. And I think I'll do this every couple months because at the rate that it's going, my collection keeps changing, and I think that's awesome. I'm really happy about that. So yeah, if you guys want to see the first video, I will link it down below. I think it could be fun to see, you know, which products have made it to this video and which ones I have decluttered or have used up. And if you've missed any of my declutters or empties and you're curious to see which ones I have used up, I will link some down below. But yeah, let's just get right on into this. I think I'm gonna start with cheek products because that's usually what people have the least of, and I think that's just really exciting. I'm just gonna dive right in with a really exciting product. This is the Anastasia Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit, and I have pan on 2 of the shades. I have pan on Kitty Cat and Forever Young. This is the pan that I have. There's an Instagram page that posts pictures of pan porn, and I sent this in as a picture, and they posted it, and someone commented saying, "You have to be digging at your palette to use it up that fast." And I was like, who would dig at their Anastasia Glow Kit? Like, why would I be lying about this? The reason that I do have pan on 2 of these is because these have a lot of glitter in them, so you have to use a densely packed brush. I'm wearing it today. I'm wearing the shade Glow Getter, and the glitter is not bad at all. It doesn't go all over your face or anything. In fact, I love it. I think it's beautiful, but you do have to use a densely packed brush. I would love to have pan in all of these shades. I cannot use the shade 143. It's the only shade that is too dark for me, but this is essentially the only highlighters in my collection I use. I have 2 others, one of which I'm trying to use up. But this is my everything. This is probably my favorite makeup product in my whole collection. I love it. Next, I have a blush, which is so exciting because this is the only blush I have ever hit pan on. I didn't have a blush last time, and yeah, I'm really excited. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in Party. This is the birthday gift this year, and this is where I am now. So you can see it's a good amount of pan. This is a deluxe size sample, but it's not. It's just a deluxe size product. But there's still so much product in it. It's a blush. I love this blush. It is so natural. It is so nice. It's great for traveling because it's so small. It's just, you can't go wrong with this blush. You really can't. I really, really like this. And it's also cool because essentially everyone at the end of this year will own that blush because most people who are into makeup do get their Sephora birthday gift. So it's cool to know that even after this year, I can still talk about that blush because nearly everyone is going to have it in their collection. Alright, next I have a bronzer. This is the Smashbox Bronze Lights Bronzer in Suntan Matte. This is discontinued, and I did have a little bit of pan on this last time, but I have a bit more. I really like this bronzer. It's one of 2 in my collection, and I do want to use this up next year because I got this freshman year of high school and I'm going into freshman year of college, and I don't want to have this for more than 1 year. And also, I would like to try some new bronzers like the Butter Bronzer. I'm dying to try that, but I mean, I'm not really dying. I'll use this up and then I'll try it, but I'll be excited when this will go. So in a future video like this that I do, the pan will definitely be expanded in this. I'm not really sure if I should include this or not, and I was like, I'll include it and I'll let you decide if it's legit or not. So this is the Maybelline Highlight by Face Studio Highlighting Bronzer. I don't actually know what this is. This is what the front looks like. They discontinued these. but this is what it looks like. It's in 50 Light Bronze. I count this as a blush in my collection, but it's actually, I only use it for touch-up. Like, it can be used as a blush slash bronzer, and I'll just like put it on my cheeks if I need a touch-up product. I had put a pin in this to see how far down I was. That little pin prick, it expanded into a tiny bit of pan right there. I don't know if you can see the pan or not, but I don't really consider this pan in my collection, but since there is a pan showing, I just wanted to mention it. But yeah, let me know if you guys would count that. I don't really know. I really don't, because I don't know if I hit pan or if it's just that the pinprick made a little product come up when I used it the next time. I'm not really sure. On my last video, someone left a comment that made me laugh. They said, I love this video, whatever. Thank you for making a video with pan that isn't all face powders, which is so true, because some people, when they make this video, they're like, here's 11 face powders, and there's nothing wrong with that. I still like seeing those, but anyway, I was just gonna say that because now I'm gonna talk about the only face powder that I have pan on. Well, actually, I use this as an under eye setting powder. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette, and it's in the shade Dulce de Leche, and when I say pan on this, I mean like this is almost done. Like, I'm uploading this video a couple weeks after I film it, and even maybe by the time this is going up, this will be done. I'm not sure. But there is really nothing in this. I really do like this, but the thing is, you can tell I don't use the bronzer. I actually consider this decluttered in my collection because as soon as I finish this powder, this is going. I don't like the bronzer, and I know that this is only $5 and you still get a crap ton of product for the under eye setting powder. However, I don't support buying something if I'm only going to use half of it, even if it's only $5. I don't want to buy another one of these if I know I'm only going to use the under eye setting powder. I don't want to have that. I'd rather just find a powder that I like just for the under eye setting powder. So if you saw the haul I posted a little while ago, I did get the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I haven't opened it. It's like in my back stock. But that will be the next powder I try. And yeah, but I think this is a great deal. And I know a lot of people do like the bronzer. For whatever reason, I don't. But if you're looking for a really nice contouring palette, I definitely recommend this. One thing to keep in mind, it is ginormous. Like, look at my face and then look at this. It's really, really big, which is another reason I don't want to repurchase it. But nonetheless, it is a very, very nice product. I believe everything left are eyeshadows. One of the few products I actually have no progress on is this Milani eyeshadow in Bella Bronze. And you can see I have hit the baked waffle pan on that. I'm not really going to say much about this because I haven't used it since the last video, but this is a winter shadow for me, and it hasn't been winter since I filmed that last video, so I do plan on getting use out of this. Same thing goes for this Lorac shadow. This is just in a ColourPop palette. I don't count this as an eyeshadow palette in my collection because it has a couple miscellaneous stuff, but this is the Lorac shadow in the shade Gold. This is the pan I have on it right now, and I have not used this one either. I really, really only use gold at Christmas time. Like, I don't wear gold on my eyes any other time. I don't know, I think that for so many years I only used gold, and then I just got sick of it and now I never use it. So yeah, and then the other eyeshadow, I think this is the only other thing I also don't have progress on, is this eyeshadow. This is from the Makeup Revolution Redemption. Whoa, this is really long. Makeup Revolution Redemption Palette Iconic 3. This is the cream shade. It looks a little dirty because it's in the palette with my Bahama Mama bronzer, and some of the bronzer has gotten into this. But yeah, this is really nice. I just have been focusing on another cream shadow, which I'll show you right now. This is my Z palette, and these are all ColourPop shadows except for this one, and this is the one that I have pan on. This is the Lorac Pro shadow in the shade Cream. These are the only two shadows I still have from that Lorac Pro palette. I really hated that palette, but I am trying to use this up, and then once I use it up, I'm going to be using the other cream shadow that I have. Hopefully next time you see this palette, there will be pan in it. It's just that all these shadows are new, and you can tell I do have some really good dips in them, but yeah, I'm not focusing on hitting pan in this. I'm just enjoying it. This has been I called it my 1 month, one palette, but it's been my summer palette. So for the last 2 months, this has been the only eyeshadow I have worn. It's what I'm wearing today. And just in general, I freaking love ColourPop pressed shadows. I really cannot recommend them enough. They are so good. And yeah, no pan to show, but I love these shadows. I have 2 more palettes, and these 3 palettes are the only eyeshadow palettes in my collection. The next one is the famous Modern Renaissance palette, and just like everybody else who actually uses this palette, aside from the beauty gurus who say it's their favorite and have no pan, because we as project panners know it is easy to hit pan on these, I have pan in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shadows. So these are the shadows I have pan in. Funnily enough, I don't love shimmer shadows nearly as much as I love matte shadows, but I do have pan in both of the shimmers. So I have pan in Raw Sienna, Burnt Orange, Primavera, Vermeer, and Venetian Red. So for for Vermeer, I tried to hit pan on it. That was a goal. And also for Primavera, I was like, I'm never using these shimmery shadows, so let me try to hit pan on them and get some use out of them. And for Primavera, I think you can tell, like, even in the parts where the pan isn't, there is such a big dip. Like, I have used so much of this product as opposed to this shade where I mainly just have pan and there's not that big of a dip. And I had this as my 1 month, one palette in June, and I know that, again, when I have it as a 1 month, one palette, I will fly through these shadows. I know that I didn't use Tempera during that month because I was using the Lorac Cream shadow, or else I would have pan on this. And I have big dips in Juan Fresco, Antique Bronze, Love Letter, and Cypress Umbrum. I'm not sure if you can see these 4 shadows I have dips in. Come on, focus. There you go. So yeah, I mean, everyone talks about this palette. It's amazing. The quality is great. I do find that a couple of the shades are very oddly dry. Like Real Girl, it's very dry, almost like it has a dry layer on it, and I think that Red Ochre is also like that. I think those might be the only 2 that are like that, but it doesn't make them not usable. It's just weird because there are a couple ones that aren't as creamy, but I mean, despite that, they still work great. It's just one thing I never hear anyone talk about, and I did want to point it out about this palette, but that doesn't change my opinion. I love this palette. I think it's amazing. I think if you don't own this and you have something like this, you don't need this, but if you don't own anything like this and you want this, you'll never have to buy like a warm tone palette ever again. Like, this has everything. And then the last product in my collection I have pan on is my Naked palette. Here is a secret. I may or may not be panning this next year for my first ever Pan That palette. I don't know. You didn't hear it from me. Anyway, this is the pan that I have. So again, in 4 shades. I really do not like these 4 shades. Or no, these 5 shades actually. These darker ones, they are not for me. I only like these shadows, and I actually don't like this one either. So I have pan on Sin, Naked, Sidecar, and Half Baked. The pan on Sin isn't happy pan to me. I worked on this because I wanted to hit pan on it. I used my brush in the same area so I would hit pan faster. That's not happy pan to me. That's cheating pan. It's still pan, but in my book, it's not a happy, like, it's not like Sidecar. Like, look at Sidecar. You know I love that shadow. When you see this, you're like, oh, she put her brush in one place. And even with Half Baked, like, it started off kind of as my brush in one place, but now, like, there is a pretty good dip in that. And in Naked, that's happy pan. Like, you can see there's so much pan in, like, the side, and yeah, that's happy pan. I am trying to pan Toasted in a project right now, and I hate it. I might take it out of the project. My camera overheated and I had to let it cool down for a second, so I can't quite remember what I was saying. I think I was just saying that the Naked palette is the oldest palette in my collection. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't dislike it so much that I would declutter it. I do want to get a lot of use out of it, but I am a matte shadow girl now. I am wearing shimmer just on like the inner corner of my eye, this half, but that's about all I do. And I wear matte looks mainly every day. If you watch my videos a lot, you will know I mainly wear matte looks. And I don't know, these shadows are really, really basic. Like Smog and Half Baked, it's a gold, and then what would you call this? Like a shimmery brown. It's not a copper, it's like a shimmery brown. Sidecar is beautiful. It used to be my favorite eyeshadow in my collection, but Sin, I mean, Vermeer in the Anastasia one is just like this. Kitten by Stila, like how many Sins do you have in your collection? You have a lot. And then these eyeshadows, these are the only two matte ones, Naked and Buck, and Naked is so cool toned, and Buck, like, it's fine, but like, I don't know, it's very odd. Like, I feel like neutral palettes always used to have a shade like Gunmetal. Like, the Stila in the Light palette was super popular when I was in 8th grade, and it had that shadow like that. And they stopped doing that now because who actually would buy a neutral palette and really use this? Like, I know some people use this. Someone I watch, oh, I can't remember her name, she's panning this, and oh, her name's Cherish. Cherish is panning this, and she uses this shade. But like, if you're just an average consumer buying a neutral palette, I really don't think these two shades you get use out of. This was hyped up for a long time, and I don't think it was wrongly hyped up, and I hyped it up too. Like, when I first got this, I only owned this and the Stila in the Light, and I absolutely loved this. Like, this was my favorite palette for like a year. I only used this, and it was good at the time, but now that I have more experience with other eyeshadows, honestly, I feel like we're all kind of like that with the Naked palette. There are some people who still say, oh, it's such a great palette, whatever, whatever, but I really question, like, how much do they actually use that palette anymore? Because people who say that, aside from like Velvet Ghost, I know she uses this palette like all the time still. Aside from her, I've never seen a YouTuber use this in the past like 2 years, and then they always say like, oh, it's a great palette, whatever, whatever, but like, are they referring to the fact that it was a great palette 3 years ago when we all liked it? I think they are. So yeah, that's my little rant on this palette. You might be seeing this in the near future. Alright guys, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Stay tuned for more of these in the future. I'm excited for this to be a series on my channel, so stay tuned. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.